Right, I have to start this episode with a confession. Not that long ago, I said electric cars were basically mobile phones on wheels, and I swore I'd never, ever own one. And yet, we find ourselves here today, the first long overdue and hopefully long awaited episode of the Tailoring Talk Magazine as we kick off the new season. I'm seriously considering selling my beloved BMW M2 and buying an EV.
I've been waiting years for this moment.
I think we should just pause the episode there and enjoy that sentence again. Say it again, please, Bobby.
No. But the worrying thing is, it's not just me. Alex is changing his Polestar. John is finally going to go fully electric for the first time.
Not the first time.
Okay, fine. But the first time in this millennia.
Yeah.
And somehow, Tailoring Talk Magazine is turning into an EV podcast.
Yeah, I didn't see this coming at all, Bobby, I have to say.
I did. I absolutely did.
Bro, so today we thought we'd do something a bit different. No reviews, no spec sheets, just an honest conversation about where each of us is on the electric vehicle journey, what we're actually considering buying with our own money, and whether going electric really means giving up the things we love about cars. And by the end of the episode, each of us has to answer one question. If you had to choose tomorrow, what would you buy? This is the Tailoring Talk Magazine, and apparently, we've gone electric. Hi Tailoring Talkers, welcome back to a very long overdue episode of the Tailoring Talk Magazine as we kick off the new season. Roberto here, thank you all so much for waiting patiently. I am joined as ever by my very, very good friends, John and Alex. How are you both?
Very well, thank you. I think we're both, Alex and I, are enjoying a well-earned week, half-term break, kind of.
Yeah.
Me more so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
A little bit of schadenfreude about the whole situation of you turning from a petrolhead to an EV driver. So yeah, let's hear about that.
We're not quite there yet, but I did test drive an EV the other day. Yeah, and I have spent the best part of the beginning of this year driving an EV over and above my beloved BM. But we'll get on to that shortly. So, here's the thing, viewers. I have found that my M2 is not getting used as much as I dreamed it would when I first went through all the bloody hassle and expense of buying the damn thing. John, if you've been following his story on YouTube, has been having enormous problems with Nissan and his, what's the technology called? E-Power.
E-Power. So it's
Qashqai.
an car that charges internally.
There we go.
Enough to put you off.
Yeah. And Alex has been pretty happy as far as his Polestar goes. He's been in an EV world for quite some time now, but he's kind of getting to the stage where he probably needs to change it and update. So, it's all sort of, we've got this perfect, what do you call it, trifecta? I don't know.
Yep.
We've all been on our own different roads and we're all meeting at the same fork, it seems. So hopefully this will be an interesting one. And for anyone who's not in the BMW M2 community of the Tailoring Talk channel, all probably booing and trying to find where the unsubscribe button is, please stay with us. I might be getting something exciting, or I might not be doing anything. Who knows?
I'm going to guess what that is, if that's okay, later on.
Ooh.
Yeah, sure. Okay,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of curious to hear what you're going to guess it's going to be. But anyhow, so I guess we should start with how we actually got here. Alex, what's going on with the Polestar?
So I've had a Polestar for 2.5 years, I think. I bought it second-hand. Really enjoy it. It's a lovely saloon, and I didn't want an SUV. I really wanted a saloon car. And it's just really, really well made, with some caveats that I might come on to. So I really enjoyed basically driving around an electric Volvo. But one of the things that I'm kind of realising is that my car is at the front because it's the biggest car, and we park on a driveway, one behind the other. So my car ends up doing about 15,000 miles a year, which is quite a lot of miles. And so range is actually more of an issue for me than perhaps I realised, because I'm actually very confident about not having range, but my wife is less confident. So, and the thing is, my Polestar is not the most efficient car, and so we might talk a bit more about alternatives a bit later on. But so it means that in the winter, in particular, sometimes I start the day with 90%, which is the norm, and sometimes it says 150 miles, which is really quite scary, quite a low amount. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I need a car that goes a little bit further, despite the fact that I love it, and I do enjoy driving it. So I'll give you a bit of a potted history on my EV knowledge. So first EV that I drove was a Nissan Leaf in 2014, and John's nodding because he did something similar. And so we had that. We absolutely loved it. And then basically I said, I'm not going to buy a petrol car again. And then I had to go and buy another petrol car because I needed to go to Leicester and back, and the Leaf would not do Leicester and back comfortably. So I bought a different car, but I really wanted to go back to electric. And my wife did change her car, so she changed it to an MG ZS, which is a SUV, fully electric again. So she's really quite committed to being electric. And then I my Polestar.
As an Arsenal member, I actually get we've just lost all the Spurs audience as well.
No.
I get 30% off MGs.
Do you?
What do they sponsor?
Yeah.
Arsenal, do they?
Yeah, and they've put an offer in for Arsenal members. It's
They're
quite
not
a
that
lot of money.
expensive. That's quite a lot.
How much do you
for
pay
discount.
for your membership?
Like red memberships, like 40 quid a year.
Oh right, okay,
That's
a good
nothing.
deal, then.
That's very good.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it's. I don't know if it's just general. I think it is general membership. I don't think it's just season ticket holders.
Do you have to prove you're a member? Can anyone just sign up to be an Arsenal member to get the 30% discount?
I think you basically generate a code, so you register,
Right.
and it generates a code as an Arsenal/MG member, and then you use that code on the website. It takes you, like, obviously to MG's website, to their portal, and you get 30% off. It's a lot of money.
You don't have to prove
That's very
in any
good.
way that you're an Arsenal fan when you do it, because that would be my problem I'd have.
Well, because you registered on the website.
Yeah, I know.
And
but
you get a code.
Is there like a quiz when you get into the dealership? So I want to know, I'd expect you to wear an Arsenal shirt or something, or a flag or a scarf around your neck. That's what I want to know, just in case.
Oh, sorry. I see where this is going. Yeah. Anyway,
okay,
I
there
thought I would jump that because nothing's changed despite the fact we have not recorded for nearly 2 months. But you ask Alex one question and he decides to offer a whole load of stuff that no one asked.
I just keep going until
John.
someone interrupts me.
I'll butt in, shall I, with my EV story?
Go on.
Yes.
No, but you did. So I got it a little bit wrong in the intro
Yeah, I'll
because
explain
you
why.
had an EV back in the day. So
Yeah, I had a Leaf.
over to you.
I think my Leaf was the next version up from Alex because it had a bit more range to begin with. It had about 130 miles. It was about 85, 90 when you bought it, wasn't it, Alex?
That's it.
Yeah, and I had that. I bought that in 2017. Had that for 6 years. Absolutely loved it. But as always, the range was what the problem was. I couldn't even drive to the coast and back without having to charge halfway round. So we both wanted to get a longer range vehicle. We wanted a family car. We went for this lovely e-Power Qashqai, which I adored. And then, if you've seen my other videos about Nissan, the car had some fault with the gearbox that determines how much to charge the battery whenever you press the pedals, and that's been in the dealership since June of last year. I'm in legal wrangles with Nissan, and they've forced me to use a petrol car. So actually, the last few months is the only time I've used a petrol car since 2017. And so I'm, annoyed by that. They didn't even give us an e-power alternative vehicle. So I want to move on from the car crash that is Nissan and go full EV again. And there's kind of looking at the EV selection of vehicles that are similar to Qashqai but fully electric. That's where I'm at that moment.
And for anyone who's listening, yes, we are basically on the F Nissan train.
Yeah.
F that company and F what they've done to John. I think it's completely... It's what they're still doing, as of the date of recording, which is the 17th of February 2026, on Earth 663-1. Okay, cool. So, but to kind of try and find the positive in every shitty situation, John, it does mean that Alex and I get to go car shopping for you, as you and I get to go car shopping for Alex, and you and Alex don't get to give any opinion to me. So
good luck with that.
The M2. So this is what's happened. So Carolina, my wife, was away for the whole of January. She has as regular viewers will know, she has a Hyundai IONIQ 6, which we had lots and lots of problems with, but I did get those problems sorted out in November, in or around November of last year. Thanks to Bury Chiswick Hyundai in West London. Thank you so much to Liam, senior technician there, and the rest of the team. They basically worked out that our dealership, which is in Devon, North London, near Friend Barnet, bunch of shysters, they had basically progressively made the car worse and worse and worse by not applying the software updates correctly and generally just being stupid idiots. So what Bury Chiswick did is Liam, who is a very, very experienced technician, he and his team basically took our car. They had it for about 2 weeks. He test drove it extensively so he could document all the problems and just make sure that they were addressing every single concern that we had with the car. And we had a list of a good 24 things that were wrong with this thing. They then painstakingly stripped the car back. They did a hard reset basically, and then they started to reinstall all the software layer by layer. And then he took the car himself for a couple of days and he tested it. And once he'd worked out that they'd sorted it, we got the car back. And immediately as I drove it out of the dealership, I noticed a difference straight away in the way it drove, that there weren't 1,500 different hazards flashing signs on the dashboard. It was just, I think I did a short video live as I was coming out of the dealership, and I think I was reacting really positively to it. And 2.5 months later, that car is an absolute joy. I mean, so much so that I need to do a proper full review of it now. And the IONIQ 6 is actually a car that I've got on my shortlist for you, Alex, because Alex and I had a chat about a week ago, and I said that I would come up with some suggestions for him. So we'll get onto that a little bit later on. Now, the M2. So Carolina was away for the whole of January. I did not use the M2 once. And the reason why was it's my needs. When I first got the M2, the first 6 months to a year, I was taking it on track, I was doing long distance drives and so on. My business grew over that time, the YouTube channel grew, I got busier and busier. Any spare time I've got outside of business and content creation, I need to spend it with my wife, with my dogs, and on myself. I don't have the luxury of taking a day out to go driving with the boys. And so the M2 is not getting used for what it was designed for, which I think is a crying shame. And also, it's a lot of money that is sitting on the drive day in, day out. I mean, what I tend to use a car for nowadays is driving to the station every morning, which is literally 2 minutes away. Parking up there. I don't really want to do that in the M2. Firstly, because you're putting a 500 horsepower M engine through that much stress. The engine's not even getting warm by the time I finish that little journey. I use it for running around the shops, and then I use it for running around I would use the car for running around in town. But again, the M2 is not really practical for that. Everywhere I am in central London, it's 20 miles an hour. There are speed humps. There are hundreds of cameras everywhere you go. And the M2 obviously just doesn't want to be dragged in second gear all the time. It just is not good for a car like that. Now, with Carolina's car, the IONIQ 6 is massive. I did use it to do some station runs. Perfect. Because you've not got an engine that you're burning or a gearbox that you're kind of breaking by doing that sort of short driving. And I realised over that month that is what EVs are perfect for, that if you do live in town like me, you're very dictated by speed limits and so on. An EV is perfect for that.
Yeah,
it's just
Bobby,
smooth driving.
If you live where you regularly have to drive on the M25, actually an EV is very good for that as well, because the average speed on the M25 is about 11 miles an hour as well. So you do find it's quite good on motorways as well.
Yeah.
You don't worry about your idling engine, do you, in traffic when you've got an electric car?
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's it. And also, the other thing with the M2, parking at the station, you're a little bit worried about the attention it gets. And I've had my TTS, I had that keyed. My Mini John Cooper works. I think this was an anomaly, but I had that keyed as well, believe it or not. I'm like, who keys a Mini? So yeah, and obviously I worry about that with the M2 because repair costs, etc., right? So that's what kind of got me going down this sort of route. And then Carolina and I were saying, well, maybe we just get a small EV, and we were looking at the Renault 5 and cars like that as a sort of day-to-day runaround, and I keep the M2 for doing all those sort of glorious things. I think whatever we do end up getting, I'll run the two cars in parallel, but with what we might be getting, because something has come up.
Can I guess?
Go on.
Okay, I have seen one in the wild, so this might be a bad clue if it's a brand new vehicle. But one of the parents at my school has a sporty version of the IONIQ 5 called the IONIQ 5M.
No.
That's the one I thought, because that's kind of a petrolhead EV, isn't it? The
it's
IONIQ
had
5M.
good ratings. It's been very
good car. I've sat in with the parent and we had a bit of a play around because
it does the brum noises.
Stick. It's got a fake gear stick in it, and it makes gear change noises. It's very good. And it
so
goes
no.
like, poo off a shovel too.
Okay, so I set some rules, and the rules are: it has to be under £32,000. It needs to be small because I need something that is very easy to park.
Okay, I've got another guess.
And it needs to be mildly practical. It doesn't need to be like super practical, but a little bit of practicality is good. And it also needs to be fun to drive, which is why the Renault 5 was something that I was looking at.
So I watched thank you very much, Alex, on your Plex server last night, The Running Man.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no. Well, Plex server? John's hallucinating viewers. Alex doesn't run a Plex server.
Don't worry, I use Jellyfin nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry to interject. We're going to deviate here. What did you think of The Running Man? I've seen it twice now. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so good.
The only bit I didn't like about it, I thought the ending was a little bit unsatisfying compared to the original.
Yeah.
It was a bit. How did he resolve everything? But apart from that, I thought it was really good, really clever. No, but I wonder if you're going for that EV Alpine that the girl at the end's driving around. That's what I thought. Because they're quite nice little cars.
Yeah, I know. We did actually. We spotted that. No. So,
Alex,
do you want to guess? Go on, Alex. You're the expert.
Well, I did go with the Alpine as well because I thought it was a good option. If you're going for fun, and you need something small for London, the Abarth Fiat 500 is quite fun because that's actually sounds crazy and is tiny, so you could throw it around anywhere.
So I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Far away.
I'm right. So that's my criteria. We are going to look at something on Thursday afternoon, which is which 95% is going to happen. I mean, Carolina was watching reviews of this thing on YouTube, and last night, and I've got her on camera saying it, she said, if this car's comfortable to drive and everything, this is 100% happening.
Not BYD.
So, no, God, no, I'm not going to buy a Chinese car. Which is ironic, actually,
it's not a Tesla,
considering what we're looking at. No, it's not. Okay. It's not. Good. Okay, fine. Right. Let's just move on. We'll come back to this because we're going to do our own little bits on what we're going to look at and shortlist and all the rest of it. Okay, so let's just sort of general chat about the reality of living with electric vehicles, because again, I was dead against them and I thought it was a load of nonsense, range anxiety, not being able to charge them up, etc., etc. But having now lived with one on my own for a month, the reality is actually rather different, especially if you've got home charging like we have. It's not actually a problem. And there was something that Alex said, I don't know if he said it when we were just together at the cinema or something, when we were talking about it, or if he said it on a previous podcast episode. But range anxiety with an EV isn't really any different to what it is with a petrol car, because with a petrol car, you still look at how many miles you've got left in the tank.
I beg to differ.
And it's the same with an EV, but see, we do a long trip to Derby twice a year to Emily's cardiologist. Emily's my Cavachon, for those that don't know. And we know that that's 92 miles or so each way. So by the time we get there in the Hyundai, we've got about 50% battery left. Bit dodge to risk getting back to London. But we just have done our homework. We know that 10 minutes from the cardiologist is a BP 150 watt supercharger station thingy, whatever. And so we go to the cardiologist. We then drive along to the station, put it on a 25-minute top up, and then we go home. And it's all fine. So it just takes a paradigm shift in how you think about when you journey.
Let John have a chat.
Listen, I had a Leaf. And towards the end of owning that vehicle, if I drove it on the motorway, I'd have to charge it every 40 miles, because motorway driving brought the range down to 50 miles at the end.
Okay, so but you're comparing a Leaf to a Hyundai IONIQ 6, which has got a 77 kilowatt hour battery.
But range anxiety very much depends on the capacity of your battery. Now, if you've got a very, very nice, quite expensive vehicle like an IONIQ 6, range anxiety is not an issue. But range anxiety is definitely an issue for people buying entry-level electric vehicles, and I think you need to make that very, very clear. There are still vehicles, brand new, with ranges of 180 miles, and I think that's not enough, and that's still...
Right, but then you have to look at use case, right? If you're someone that does a lot of motorway driving...
That's why it's hybrid.
And by the way, anyone who's listening or watching to this that jumped in on my comments on the very first Hyundai video that I did, where I mentioned that when you go on the motorway, EVs are less efficient than a nice car.
They are.
Sorry, don't use that. Than an internal combustion engine. Go F yourselves, okay? Because I was bloody right.
They haven't driven the IONIQs or a lot of the Hyundais. The fuel efficiency on them is amazing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, well, I say it's one of those.
No. The battery efficiency is less when you're going at higher speeds, because you're having to use more power to drive the motor. It
doesn't matter if you've got a 200+ mile range. So
no, it doesn't. But see, this is the point that I was trying to make earlier, just before, and then you can do your thing. It depends on use case, right? So the IONIQ 6, we have that in the household so that we are able to do these long journeys, like the drive that we have to do every 6 months to Derby, like having to go to Bedfordshire every month now because our dog groomer's moved and we don't trust anybody else.
We should catch up.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah,
what else? Oh yeah, so that's the Hyundai. Now for me, I don't need as long as I've got something that will do up to roughly 200 miles. That's fine because I'm driving in town every day. All of my journeys are like 10 to 15 miles maximum daily mileage is what I'm going to be doing. Some days it won't even be a kilometre. So that's what I mean. Don't go and buy a car that's got a small battery, short range, if the type of driving that you're doing is long distance. That just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Which is why we moved from the Leaf to a hybrid because we could not find at that time, this is 2021, 22, an electric vehicle at a good balanced cost that could give us a range of 350 miles. I mean, the cash guy with the e-power one, with a full tank, which is a smaller tank, did a range of 480 miles on a good day, because it has, you can regenerate power as well. So we're going to move on and second to what vehicles we want to get based on range. But Alex has a point to make as well now.
Well, so my main point is, if you're driving a Mini, for example, Mini Cooper, so it's got lots of revs on it, but it has a good power rate ratio. Doesn't have a big petrol tank though, so you end up filling it up every 200 miles or so. Doesn't put you off from doing a longer journey, because what you do is you say, that's fine, I'm just going to top it up on the motorway or on my way or whatever. And I think at the time that you were looking for another car, John, you absolutely needed there were some limits on that, and I totally agree. Now I think a lot of those limits and things have disappeared, so there are options that are large enough, have a good enough range, and there's enough options for charging that I think nowadays you can legitimately do this if you have home parking, you have off-street parking by your home,
which I do.
And I think now the picture's very different to what it was, because I drove the Leaf down to the south coast from where we live now. It took four charges or something. It was hysterical, but I was the only one charging, so it didn't matter. And at that time we didn't even need to pay. It was ridiculous. We were way away from that. So I think thinking about the Leaf as a model is valid, because that's your experience, John. But the new cars nowadays have moved on so much from that. Doesn't mean that there's lots of 400 sort of 350 mile range cars that are cheap. That bit is still completely valid. But finding cars with a 250, 300 mile range is actually very achievable. My wife bought a Hyundai Kona with a 300 plus mile range, and it was second hand, and it cost her less than 13 grand. So that's pretty good. So now I think the market has moved.
Oh yeah, and the battery technology.
But we're in a much better place now. And the thing that surprises me is actually, if you're in the Hyundai and you're driving it, what surprises me is that the range isn't going down as fast as I'm used to. And that's just because I've like you, I've had bad experiences with cars, EV cars in the past, so I just assume that it's not going to go that far. But the Hyundai really, I can drive it all the way to the bottom of the M25 and back, and I'm like, I think I shouldn't be able to do this, and it just keeps going. So I think there are those nowadays that do that. But you're right, there are smaller cars and cars with smaller batteries where that still will be an issue, but it's like anything. It's like you've got to buy a car that suits your needs.
I think a lot of people are buying the smaller city cars, like Bobby, as a second vehicle, as a runaround.
Perfect.
We are, will be, and always have been, a one-car family. And I think one point we haven't made here, which might be different for Bobby and you, but definitely for me, is the main reason we went EV in the first place was also for environmental reasons. But we don't want to be using petrol anymore. And having one vehicle is another reason as well, that we just don't need. I don't need more than one vehicle in my lifestyle. It makes life a bit more challenging, but if I need to get to work and my wife needs a car, I'll cycle to work, which is even better for the environment than an EV car. So for me, my case is slightly different in that the vehicle I want has to be more than a city vehicle. And that's what I will talk about later on in the podcast.
Yeah. And we will, absolutely, because the thing is, it's great that you've got options so you can commute without driving.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bobby lives in London, so he has some of that great transport in London. Even Milton Keynes should be a very good place to do public transport, but it's not. And so for a lot of places outside of London, it's like you end up commuting. My daily commute is like 40 miles a day. Not a lot, but it is that's what it tends to be, and that includes a school run. So it's just like everyone has different needs, and I think at the time there were limited amounts of cars at those various needs. Now there are so many options. Which we'll talk about. It's just there's so many. It just comes down to finding the one that's right for you.
Yeah. And also, anyone who's watching this that is shaking their heads and throwing up at the back of their throat and so on because they believe combustion engines are the be-all and end-all, etc., and EVs are a load of nonsense and it's a fad that will go away, etc., etc., that's fine. All right, everyone's different.
No one's forcing you to buy one.
Yeah, I absolutely, and you can go back to older videos, any of the car videos, and you will hear me saying over my dead body, practically, will I ever be owning an EV? Like the one that we own, that my wife has, is absolutely fine. It's her car. It's her deal. I drive it sometimes when she doesn't want to and she's tired or whatever. But I just was like, I'm never ever going to put my own money into an electric vehicle. But yet here we are today. I've just literally test driven one 2 days ago, and I'm going to be test driving another one on Thursday. So there we go. You know, for me, on the range thing, the M2 has got such a small petrol tank, it barely gets 200 miles out of that. So for me, as long as whatever I get in real world does roughly around that 180 to 210 miles, I'm absolutely happy. So yeah, there we go.
You have that benefit that if you need to, you can just plug it in overnight and it'll be fully charged by the time you leave. Which I think for lots of people that works perfectly. So
yeah. You know, we're on Octopus. We've got 12 solar panels strapped to the roof of the house. We've got a Tesla battery. You know, so you know, that's the other thing as well. You know, it's like, here's me, you know, spending about 80 quid to fill my little tank up, and you know, Carolina's just charging her 350 odd mile range streamliner, and it's costing 7 pence per kilowatt hour.
From the sun.
Like £3.50 or something.
No, not from the sun. Not from the sun. From overnight, where it's cheap.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. You think about that. That is a whole other episode we can talk about.
That's
and
true.
I will be waiting for that one too.
Yeah, because also we're getting kind of between 5 to 12 quid a month credit, because we give back to the grid, because obviously we're producing more than we use on some days. And you know, if you kind of offset that against what we're spending on charging the Hyundai, we're practically charging our electric car for nothing. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
God, I can't believe. Oh God, what's happened to me? So
you throw up a little bit.
Yeah, just a little. I swallowed it again. Alex, your next car criteria. Because you mentioned to me being able to do the North Coast 500 in it without worrying too much. Just tell me a bit more about all of that.
Oh, hang on. Let me get this because I
present my shortlist to you.
I need to look at what I sent you because
I can tell you. I've got it here.
Oh, here you go. Yes. So here you go. I can do it all now. That's fine. So the thing for me is. My car is the road trip car, so it needs to have a long distance. Amy's car is a run-around car, and it does sort of trips to London and back sometimes and things like that when our diaries don't align. But generally, we take my car because it's more comfortable and it just is a nicer road car. So I want something that can have a real-world range of about 250 miles. My current one has a real-road range of about 200 miles, but what I'm realising is that you don't normally charge a car to 100%, and you also don't normally empty it all the way to zero. You'd have to be quite psychotic to do that. So I've done that once as well. You only ever do it once. Yeah. You don't do it more than once, because once you've done that, you're like, I won't do that again.
After we did that, whenever we hit that range in our car, we called that the brown trouser range.
Nice.
Yeah.
But that's a certain thing that Leaf owners will totally be able to relate with, whereas other people were just like, oh, okay, and then they'll just move on. Anyway, so I want it to be a road trip, so it's got to be practical enough. It's got to have enough space in it. I quite like a saloon car because I'm fed up with SUVs. I just think they just all look pretty boring. But I do want something practical. So in an ideal world, it has a hatchback. But a lot of saloon cars nowadays, particularly the new ones, have gone back to having a little boot. I'll accept that so long as it's practical enough. It's got to have a good enough space. And then the other thing is it needs to be fun to drive. Because I'm coming from a performance car, it's very fun to drive. So I can't, there's no point just shipping me into a, Ford or something that's not going to have any personality to it. And then I'm ambivalent about whether it's new or old as a car.
Right. Okay.
So I don't mind if it's a new one, lovely, that's shiny, but that would mean I'll be doing a lease deal because the depreciation is horrific on. New cars in general.
So what sort of budget? What sort of price range, Alex?
So I would, if I'm buying a used car, I'd be looking for a used car with a budget up to 25 grand. Now that doesn't sound that much, but actually you can get a lot of car for your money for 25 grand.
For. The EV5's about 25.
You can, and we'll talk about some of the options because I think Bobby may think I'm ruling stuff out, but I'm not. There are absolutely options. But the other thing is, if I'm doing a monthly, then that's tricky because it is our main car, so I'm prepared to pay sort of £400 to £500 a month. But at £500 a month, that's quite high. So it's just like, can I get more for my money, or can I get something closer to 400? Because obviously, at the end of the day, cars depreciate, and you end up spending that money whether you like it or not. So,
yeah.
So
can I ask a question, Alex? If you're going to, you're looking at lease hire, are you?
Not necessarily. I haven't decided, but yeah, because for a new one, I would.
I don't think many people these days actually outrightly own a car. I think Roberto here is an outlier these days. Most people these days go for hire purchase,
right,
and don't ultimately end up owning those cars unless they pay for the final big whack at the end.
Yeah. And that's how it's designed, isn't it?
Yeah. Keep you in the loop. But we'll talk about that in a second when I talk about my car. But okay, so that's an interesting price range you're looking at.
So it's not. Yeah. I mean, I've been really generous for now because the thing is, I can whittle it down later. But actually, the thing is, you can get a lot of car for your money second hand nowadays. I mean. And we might talk about Teslas later, but you can get a Tesla for like 15 grand.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
And they're like high mileage, but they will just keep going.
And also, I mean, Elon's decided to stop doing cars now as well, hasn't he? They're
could be
dialing down the cars and going to robots.
Could be
instead.
A collector's item.
Yeah.
Can I present
go on.
my list to Alex?
Go on, Bobby. You've got a list because you've been
all
searching
coy
the
there
web
in
for this.
In his car seat.
So I'm going to do this one first because you might not want a Tesla because of that, musky fucker. I'm going to have to edit that bit out, aren't I? Are you allowed one F-bomb? Sorry, I just hate the guy.
On YouTube?
We'll talk about that because we've both got Tesla Powerwalls as well, so we ain't getting rid of Teslas.
I had nothing to do with that. My wife ordered that 5, 6.
You're still way sound there, Bob.
It's on another podcast. Don't worry.
Yeah,
we'll
exactly. Anyway, so number one, and this is not like number one. This is the best choice. Okay, Tesla Model 3 long range saloon version.
Very capable.
So the battery. Car. About 75 to 82 kilowatt hour battery depending on the version. WLTP range up to about 390 miles, so it goes forever. Real world motorway range, you typically get about 240 to 300 miles, so you could easily do the NC 500 with a stop. Price is new, 40 to 50 grand depending on trim, or used. For used values, I've gone for like 1 to 2 years old.
Yeah, that's fine.
Roughly 20 to 30k depending on mileage and spec.
That's his price range.
Yeah, and so it takes care of your easy long distance EV travel, and you've got a really good charging ecosystem out there as well to take advantage of.
The Tesla cars are a really easy car to recommend because if you haven't driven an EV before, or you don't know what to do, they're just really easy. Now, the thing is, you have to like the way they do things, because that's the only way they're being done. But they are very capable cars. So I wanted a like for like from my Polestar.
Yeah,
I could do that.
I'm
sorry,
just
mate.
my list.
You don't care about
It's like
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Viewers,
now
I've got,
giving
maybe it's
a,
different
like,
for you, but
flipping
I've got
bloody
narrow
what
windows
car
here.
review
It looks
on the
like
damn thing.
it looks like on my view that Bobby is literally like whispering in Alex's ear as he says that. It's very funny.
What did I say at the top of the episode? No reviews, right?
I'm not review. Okay, carry on. Just keep going, and we'll edit it out.
Alex,
Do you know what?
I
I tell you what, and then the final benchmark: would Bobby accept a lift from you in it? A Tesla? No, because they're built like crap. They've got great technology in terms of the screen stuff and the infotainment and all of that.
Like the interiors of Teslas.
The battery's brilliant, but inside they feel like shite. Right, next Hyundai IONIQ 6 long range version, which is the one that Carolina's got. Battery 77 kilowatt hours, WLTP range up to about 338 miles. Real world motorway range usually about 230 to 270, which we found to be pretty accurate. I'd say closer to the 230 to 250 kind of area. Brand new, roughly 47 to 54k, depending on the spec. About 12 months old. Typically, you can get them sort of low 30s to high 30s. Again, depending on the spec. It's one of the most efficient long-distance EVs out there, and it is so comfortable, Alex. Like for touring, you just sit in this thing, and it's so comfortable. Like, short of a Rolls Royce, I can't think of any other car I've sat in that is as comfortable as the IONIQ 6. So I highly recommend it. If you offered to give me a lift in it, I would say 100% yes. And I would get in next to you, and I'd push the little button on the side of the passenger seat that converts it into a flatbed, and I would just happily sleep like a baby whilst you drive away.
Alex, Bobby in your car without saying anything, that's a bonus straight away if he's asleep. So I take it.
Well, there you go. I don't have to talk to him. That's perfect.
I snore. Allegedly. So, Alex,
nice choice.
Instant reaction to that one?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Is it a hatchback, or is it a little thing?
It's a streamliner. So gotcha. It's not really a hatch. It's kind of a boot, but the boot is cavernous. Like
because it just keeps going, doesn't it?
It just keeps going, and the back seat area is enormous. Like I can put my road bike in front of the rear passenger seats without having to take a wheel off or anything. I literally just put it in, and I can shut the doors.
Okay,
it's incredible.
That wins me over. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like that.
And when you put the seats down, your trip to IKEA, not a problem.
I love the interior. I don't like the exterior of that car. I don't think it looks a very nice vehicle. It looks a bit weird to me.
Well, that's because
have you seen it in the flesh?
You're really superficial, John. It's about what's on the inside, not the outside.
I mean,
they're ones that grow on you. You'd be surprised.
They do.
They particularly like at the front, particularly they look great, and then you look at the back and you go, "Oh, that's a shame." And then you get in the car and then you're like, "No, this is all fine." But I think you have to try it.
It gets a lot of positive attention. I mean, mostly from dads and from middle-aged blokes, but it does get a lot of positive attention. But there's you see a lot more of them out on the road. I think the back kind of's got a bit of a sort of, Saab Aero.
That's
kind
what I
of
was thinking. It looks like a slightly melted Saab. Yeah,
there's a bit of Porsche Panamera going on back there. The back's really, really nice. And then the front, the new version, the front looks a little bit better, but the front is a little bit soft. It is a bit Tesla-like. But, overall, it's a fantastic car. Anyway, there we go. Next, BMW i4 eDrive 40. This is the driver's choice. Battery, about 81 kilowatt hours usable. WLTP range around 360 miles. In real world motorway, that's about 240 to 270. Brand new, they're very expensive. You're about 60k. Used 12 to 18 months. That price drops to about 40 to 50,000 again, depending on mileage and options. It's closest in feel to a traditional sporty saloon. We actually did test drive one of these, but Carolina got the IONIQ instead. But that was more down to a crappy BMW salesperson than it was the actual car itself. The actual car itself was brilliant. And as someone who's owned a Polestar, the BMW would just be a nice natural sidestep, but a bit elevated in terms of the actual driving experience.
Yeah, that is a smart car, actually. I don't normally think of.
It's not a smart car; it's a BMW i4.
No. But yeah, it's nice.
They're
It's
very
looking
popular,
good.
those BMWs.
It doesn't have an ugly. The kidney things at the front don't look ugly, which is a real thing because there are some that look awful. So yeah, I think I would accept that. That'd be good.
Cool.
Have to do it on a company car lease or something, but that would work.
Is that the Grand Coupe you're thinking of? It's not the family.
Yeah.
It's not the SUV, is it?
No, it's the i4. It's the one that kind of looks like a 4 Series.
Vehicle. Yeah,
It
Yeah, it's
looks.
nice.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Inside, it doesn't feel like an electric car. It just feels like a normal BMW.
Yeah, good.
They're very clever
Good.
the way they've done it.
good range.
Right, next. This is a saloon / fastback, the Volkswagen ID7. Battery range 77 kilowatt hours. You do get larger options in the newer versions. WLTP range is huge on VWs, 360 to 380. Real world motorway range again about 250 to 290. Brand new there again in that i4 territory, 52 to 60k, but used, nearly new. You're starting to get options appear in the sort of late 30s to mid 40 grand for cars that are only about 6 months old. So there's a bit of a steep depreciation
Bobby,
drop.
my friend has an ID7.
Oh, nice.
And I'm sorry, because I know it's not a factor for you, Alex, but it is the most boring car I've ever seen in my life. It is the dullest design.
In terms of what it looks like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
That
nice
is
car.
the problem. Yeah,
So
I
you
mean,
can drive.
the new ID
It's dull.
platform that VW are releasing, starting with the Polo and the Polo GTI this year, is fantastic. They've really gone
It's
back
ID7.
to like the old, but yeah, VWs up till then are really boring looking.
Yeah, I drove an ID4 before. We had it when this was a few years.
The new
years ago.
ID3,
That was good.
Alex, has an amazing range on it for a little car.
Yeah, I can believe
It's like
that.
350 miles for a little car. It's amazing.
Yeah. No,
Wouldn't
they're
be
good
very
cars.
cool to do the NC
Not very
500.
exciting though. But yeah, good cars, and it looks nice.
Right,
But yeah, I get you with the thing. Right, go for it.
hatchback to consider. The Kia EV6 long range, which is kind of a crossover. Battery and range, and don't forget they're the same technology and everything as Hyundai. So battery, 77 kilowatt hours, WLTP range roughly 310 to 330 miles depending on trim. Real world will get you kind of 220 to 260. From new, roughly 45 to 55k, and used, a year to 2 years, they go for like 30 to 40 grand. So they've got personality. They kind of look quite interesting. Very, very practical because you've got loads of space and they're very comfortable. Because again, they're the EV6, I believe, borrows the IONIQ platform. They're built
Yeah,
the
it's
same.
the same as the IONIQ 5.
It looks a bit like it's got kind of Renault Megane touch to it as well in looks.
Yeah. So there we go. So in summary, if you want the easiest road trip car with no range anxiety, it's the Model 3.
Yeah.
But it's got a shit interior. If you want maximum efficiency and range, the IONIQ 6 and supremely comfortable. If you want driving feel, it's got to be the driver's car, the BMW i4. If you want comfort and space and big miles, it's the ID7, but as John said, it is boring as shit. And if you want a hatch with lots of personality, long range and comfort, it's the EV6. There you go.
Nice. Oh, can I have a couple of counter ones?
Yeah, sure. I wasn't aware that you were going to be
You
arguing
weren't.
with me, but
So
you may.
there was no...
I'll allow it. I've just been watching The Lincoln Lawyer, so sort of courtroom stuff.
All right, great.
Here. I rest my case, Your Honour.
So, because there's no Chinese cars in that, I think quite deliberately.
There aren't. And if
the-
you're going to
the
mention
Chinese-
the BYDs and stuff, then we'll move on to John.
So the BYD Seal was my other option, but I do have one more which I think it deserves a look, which is the Volvo EC40, which is a saloon but has a bit of a swooping back. That looks quite good because I think Volvo's all of a sudden getting its gear on with electric.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll
Not
talk
impressed.
to you about that later
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's talk more about that when Bobby's not around.
on. No, I mean,
All right. Let's go.
John.
Yeah, here we go.
John. Family EV.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Nissan, if you're listening, pay the guy what you owe him for God's sake, so we can go car shopping. So John's priorities are space, comfort, practicality for these camping trips that he goes on with Becca and the kids. The kids will not be interested in any of this by the time he gets his new car, but still, we can dream. And obviously reliability is key because of all the bad experiences he's had. So John's shortlist were the Ford Explorer, the Mini Countryman, the Kia EV3 and the Skoda Elroq. Alex, have you got any thoughts on any of those?
An interesting group and an interesting mix of smaller cars as well. Actually.
Can I explain why those four have been? So I'm going to go down the route of getting a EV to work scheme with Octopus because my school has an EV to work scheme. So I can get essentially, I can pay 40% more. I can afford a slightly nicer vehicle for comparable to what I'm paying right now for my Qashqai. So I can actually, of those four, go for the premium, like the longer range versions as well. I've got a little bit more. Basically, I can get a 60 grand car for 40 grand. But I also do have an option for the EV Work Scheme does a second-hand vehicle selection as well. But yeah, they're the four. So what do you think so far? The Ford Explorer Electric, which they actually call an estate car on the site, a Mini Countryman, a Kia EV3 and a Skoda Elroq. You'll notice, apart from one of those three, the ranges in those are very, very good.
Yeah. So the Explorer is basically a ID6 or ID7.
Do you need the ranges,
underneath.
Alex? I've got them here for you.
I've got them. Oh, go on.
Okay.
Tell me the range.
So Ford Explorer, if you go for the 77 kilowatt hour battery option, which I presume John would, that's up to 374 miles with the motorway range around 290. So it's pretty bloody good.
Yeah.
Does all the rapid charging and stuff. Very practical. It looks really good, I have to say. Like, it looks really, really nice. The Mini Countryman has got a smaller battery, so that's roughly 287. Real world range about 230 to 240 estimated. Sort of minis are quite expensive now, unless you can kind of get deals on them, because it's in the mid 40k territory. And personally, if I was looking at mid 40s, I would be looking at cars like the IONIQ 5.
Bobby, the thing about the Mini is, if I'm going to persuade Becca, she's always wanted a Mini.
I know.
It would be my last choice, the Mini Countryman. I'm not a big fan of the circular dash in the middle. I know it's quite iconic to the vehicle. I think for me, I'd struggle, but it's not all about me. I want more range. If I'm going to be spending a lot of money on a vehicle for the next few years, I want to future-proof it for range as well. Really.
Yeah. So the Kia EV3 Air, were you looking at the standard range or the long range version?
Long range again.
Okay, fine, because then that goes over 300 miles.
375.
Yeah, and they're quite well priced, early 30s. But obviously, I know you're doing it on cycle to work or whatever. Skoda, whatever. Potatoes.
Yeah, I have to say, after doing some research for this podcast, because you said go and do your homework, boys, I have grown more and more in love with this vehicle, the way it looks. I know this look is not for everyone. It's kind of sci-fi. But I've always kind of liked the Kia look anyway. I would probably ask Alex here, who's a bit more knowledgeable with electric vehicles, what is the reputation or history of Kia? Kia kind of were the
it's the same as Hyundai, dude. It's the same technology.
they're very good. They've got that 7-year warranty, haven't they?
Which again,
and
for
they're
me,
really
with
good.
the current situation I'm in, that's like, neck to the
I
gods
think,
for me.
John.
So the thing
I think what you also need to do, and this goes for whatever you go for, but I've learnt this the hard way with our Hyundai, right? That we've got a dealer 5 minutes up the road that's meant to be their European flagship, and they are absolute dog shite when it comes to service, and they don't know what they're doing. So we now have to drive halfway around the M25 to go to Brentford to use Chiswick. And that, even though it's only 12 miles away with London traffic, is an hour each way. It's a ball
I don't know
ache.
how I'd do that with my lifestyle with a car needs servicing. I'd have to take a day off.
So what I'm saying is that whatever you get, you need, whether it's the Ford, the Kia, the Skoda, you need to do your homework on whoever's going to be doing the servicing, and you need to find a dealership that has got a very good technical team. Because the thing that I'm finding out for a lot of our viewers. Exactly. The thing I'm finding out with a lot of our viewers, and thank you, gents and ladies, for all of the feedback that you give, apart from the trolls, idiots. But I'm really getting good at putting you idiots down. Guys, girls, if you don't like what we do, there are so many other YouTube channels you can go to. Go find the ones that are paid by sponsors to say whatever they want. We don't do that here. We're no bullshit. It is new technology, and a lot of the technicians at these garages, they're used to working on internal combustion engines, and this is all new stuff for them. So you're relying on the skill of the technician, and the skill of the technician depends on his dedication to learning a new craft. And Endeavour Hyundai, they obviously haven't bothered, and that's why they're bodging cars up. It's like a Hyundai graveyard up there. Whereas at Bury Chiswick, they're getting all the glowing reviews, and they're doing amazing work, and they don't have a graveyard of cars piling up because they know what they're doing. So there we go.
No, I know what you mean, but the Kias, I really wouldn't worry about it. It's
Okay.
they're solid cars.
Yeah,
I think the only thing I would say is don't sell yourself short on the size of the model. So like an EV3 is a nice size model, but there's an EV4 that gives you slightly bit more space. So if you need the practicality, that's not a bad idea, because obviously the thing is, you can't. Too much space is unlikely to be a problem, whereas not enough could be an issue.
I am limited. I have to be honest here. I am limited to what is available through the EV scheme, so I haven't got the same freedom of choice.
Which brings me on to the Skoda Elrock, because this is probably the most sensible, family-focused option, especially when it comes to price, John, and time on this podcast, because someone has to edit the fricking thing.
Yeah.
Entry versions, about 233 miles WLTP, but hopefully on your cycle to work scheme, you can get the larger battery. There we go. And the new price typically starts at under 32k. Yeah, it's good price. goes up to late 30s, but really, really well priced, and it's a good looking EV, and it's got great interior space, all the rest of it. It looks good. It's a good looking car.
I had a Skoda Estate in previous years, and it was a good workhorse. It just kept going and going and going. Yeah. And it was lovely to have an estate car as well. So, yeah, my friend's just about to get one. He's bought one locally, and so I can try his out before I look at it anyway.
But in summary, John, if you want the best range and motorway ability, the Explorer is definitely the one that's top of the list.
I mean, the Explorer has massage seats as well. That's a big sell for my perspective.
So I've got one more for you as well.
Talk about massage seats, actually.
Yeah. It's silly, but
all right,
it's fun. What's that, Alex?
I've got one more, which is on the
Okay, you can do your one more after I finish presenting to John. Okay.
All right, you present. Go on.
If you want personality, something a bit more fun, and something that will get, Becca's tick in the box, obviously it's the Mini. Value and just all round as a package, just, ticking a lot of boxes for you. The EV3 is a really strong choice. And then obviously if you want sensible, family first, because of the space, then the Skoda might be the one for you. I rest my case, Your Honour.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, the EV4 is smaller than the EV3 by the looks of it. So I'm not sure about that. Actually, the EV4 is smaller.
That was a stupid suggestion, Alex.
I've just looked at the site. It's more of a hatchback, whereas it's not an SUV.
Yeah, there is one, but yeah. The thing is, they all sit on the same chassis, so they're effectively the same. It's just, I think the numbering scheme, and this is true of a lot of electric cars, because they kind of lose originality and just start using numbers. But I think the numbering scheme is more there to confuse you rather than anything.
So tell me, Alex, tell me about this car you're thinking of then.
So I've got a joker for you. It's on the Octopus scheme. Yeah. It's very luxurious. Okay, it has a 200-mile range, and it's very cheap.
Did you not listen to the brief?
I did, but this will be like driving an electric Range Rover for the price of your EV3, which is the Jaiku.
I looked at that.
Jaiku 5. I've got a neighbour.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this podcast for a brief intermission.
Yeah, I'm not. I looked at it, and the guy tried to say. He said to me, "I know they're not quite as popular, so there might be a better value for money." But I don't know.
I don't think it's.
I don't know.
I guess it depends whether you want.
I think they're Chinese, not Japanese, John. You know.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. I mean, I just want to go with something I know is solid this run round. I don't want to risk anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Jaiku is a brand.
Sorry, let me translate let me do the polite translation for John. What he's trying to say is he would rather go for brands that he knows and are tried, tested, have been doing it for a long time.
You think that would be Nissan, wouldn't you?
Really? Yeah, no, but you would think that, to be fair, because Nissan. Jaiku is just a brand of Chery motors in the which is a massive Chinese EV manufacturer. So this is very similar to MG. And BYD in terms of their standing. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention it because you'd be surprised at what you get for your money from a Chinese car.
Well, that's why I was quite impressed with Marcus Brownlee's review of the Xiaomi car.
Yeah.
Which
isn't in the UK.
No, that was a Tesla Beta that's $20,000 cheaper than Tesla. So I think but I know Bobby's not very keen on the Chinese imports, but we need to keep our eyes out because they're going to be flooding the market at some point.
They are. Look, there's no choice, right? So Motability, obviously the biggest leaser of cars, the whole of Europe. They buy more cars than anybody. They've done a deal with the Chinese. The Chinese basically have come in, said, we will subsidise all of the advance payments, and you take our cars. Off we go. So as more Motability customers start to take up those Chinese cars, I mean, we're already seeing it here in London. There's so many on the road: BYDs, Jaikus, etc., GWMs or whatever they're called. So it is happening, and apparently their dealerships and the customer service is really, really good. But obviously, what remains to be seen is what happens on the back end. And for me, not enough of these cars have been around for long enough for us to know what that looks like. And so for someone like John, for someone like John,
Chinese.
Oh, okay, yeah, fine.
Because
we're not going to finish. We're not going to finish talking about the Chinese either, as will be revealed shortly. There's a clue for you. So. But it's very tenuous. I don't think you're going to get it. Anyhow, so there we go. But John has been badly burned with the experience he's had recently. So it's not that he's against the Chinese or Chinese cars or whatever. It's just, he just wants a little bit of comfort and security. Right, my turn. One of you can
hold on.
now interview me.
What? One thing. We need to speak to you about your cars, Bobby. If money was no object, I would, in a flash, get the new Volvo EX60.
Ooh,
that would be the car.
Yeah,
it
nice.
Completely fits all my specs for a camping vehicle. It looks lovely, with a range of 503 miles. But the starting price for one of those is 56 grand. So they're out of my stretch.
Yeah, nuts.
That's the vehicle. That is, I think, the first electric vehicle that offers a comparable distance to a petrol car. So I would, in a flash, get the EX60 if I wasn't, and the cross country, which is the slightly higher profile one. If I had No problems with money. Bobby, tell me about your cars.
What do you want to know?
Well,
okay, so
what is your premise? You're looking for a runabout the city, aren't you, basically?
So yeah, my premise is I need something that because also in my day-to-day I carry client suits and shirts and fabrics and so on, and it's just getting a bit too much, and I especially feel it in winter. Summer it's not so much an issue because I do have the Vespa, and it's my preference to travel around on the Vespa. But yeah, having a little car to run around in, that's kind of why I miss my Mini John Cooper Works, because it was perfect for that. Damn it. If the gentleman who bought it is watching, I know you subscribe to the channel, my offer still stands, and if you fancy just getting rid of it now, I'll buy it off you right now. Like, tell me how much you want for it, I'll take it back. Anyway, sorry, push that to the side. So yeah, so it's basically a little in-town run around, and for days where I don't need to run around, I would still use it to go to the station and park there. And obviously being a small little car, I don't need to worry about it getting keyed or getting any untoward attention or whatever. I can just park it there and forget about it. So that's kind of my use case, John.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
When you're going around London, are you also taking with you fabric samples and like luggage, or why would you not use a motorbike that you already have, like the Vespa? Just tell me again why you wouldn't use a Vespa.
Because sometimes I can't fit everything onto the Vespa.
Okay, right. So it's like it's more what you're carrying with you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And technically, it's not really safe either.
No. Okay. No, true. Especially in London.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what would happen to this podcast if I died, John?
Well, exactly. Yeah. I'd have to edit it.
We will just take a moment to think about that.
We're all
Might
thinking
get
of very selfish reasons why we've struggled
We don't want
with that.
this to happen.
Don't have to do this anymore. Yeah, so that's why I was really focused on the Renault 5 doors, decent range on the 52 kilowatt hour version, you know, up to 240 odd miles. But we did drive it on Sunday. It's a very, very good car for the money, like 22k ex VAT, so around the top very trim's good. About 27k. With the 3750 full electric car grant. So, 2 buts. Number one, Carolina, my wife, was not comfortable. She's 5'2", so short. Okay, maybe she's 5'3", but we don't know for sure.
Surely she's smaller. She's more comfortable, surely, in a small car.
No, because actually the Renault 5, the seat depth is 5 centimetres deeper than it is on the Hyundai IONIQ 6.
Oh, so she's lower down behind the wheel, you mean?
No, it's not that. No, as in the actual the seat depth, the bit you sit on, the depth of it.
Yeah.
It's bigger.
Right.
So for someone smaller, it's not as comfortable.
She's rattling about a bit in the seat.
Yeah, but she did look at my seating position in it, and when I got back in the Hyundai, she said my seating position was much, much better, and that's really important for me because having had cycling accidents,
lumbar support,
motorbike accidents, my back and hips are all over the place. So unfortunately, and also, although again the Renault 5 is very, very good, but it at the end, and I'm not complaining because it's in that price bracket. But when you've been used to driving an M2. It's all the scratchy plastics and stuff. I felt a bit.
Right, yeah.
That's the problem. Your expectations have been set too high.
Yeah, this is a problem.
You've been spoiled,
and that's the
Bobby.
worry. That is the worry that we've also got to find something that after 2 months I'm not going to be thinking, oh God, I've downgraded too much. I need to go and look for something else. We need to stop that behaviour. So we are going to test drive something that a friend of mine who works for this manufacturer has got me
Lexus.
Absolutely amazing discount that brings this car from late 30s into early 30s price wise, which is bang in my budget, and it has got one feature over my M2, which is quite incredible for a small EV. Can you guess what it might be?
Is it a Lexus?
No.
What's the feature?
Is
it heat? Is it
do
cooling
you want more
seats?
do we want to keep guessing?
Yes, more
fine.
clues.
Let's see if I can give you some clues.
Yeah.
It's only a 3-door.
So
Right.
it's not a Mazda, is it?
No. I can't be driving a Mazda.
Thank God for that.
Okay. You said you're not thinking of getting an Audi A6 or something like that, like a.
No, well, that's even bigger. I need something that's small and I can park
Smaller.
easily.
It's a small, electric, 3-door.
Mm-hmm.
Do you say it's Chinese?
It's not technically Chinese, but it is actually. This version is made in China currently.
So that's like
Although
MG,
production will move in the near future, production will move back to where it should be.
It's not an MG, is it?
No.
Because they're made in China, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't. You've lost me completely because you've been really
Fiat?
anti-Chinese, and now you've gone.
No.
But it's a Chinese
Fiat
car
Grande?
made in China.
No, that's Italian.
That's Italian, but it could be made in China. Is what I'm saying. Right, give us
Yeah,
another
I mean,
clue then.
admittedly, I
What's the feature?
didn't know it was made in China until today.
What's the feature?
It's the
Yeah,
driver's seat has got massage seats.
In a small car.
Yeah. It's the top trim of this vehicle. There will be people watching this screaming. At their TVs. Yeah.
Are we
I'm
going
not sure that they
to
would.
kick ourselves when you tell us?
You're going to literally kick yourselves in the ball so hard you'll spit your testicles out your mouth.
No, I can't. I just can't see anything.
It's not Chinese or Japanese. Essentially, it's 3 doors. It's not a Mini Cooper electric.
Oh, yes.
Is it a
It's the Mini Cooper
Electric?
SE Level 3 trim.
What?
Oh,
the one that
okay.
you've written down in our script here?
Yes.
I thought that was just something else. I can't believe you've been sitting there staring at the face the whole time.
It does say that, and
believe I work
none of
with
us
these
were
two.
looking at it.
None of us
None of us
at
were
it, but-
looking at it.
Yes,
There you
folks.
go.
That's
They
the
did
biggest
not-
shock. We actually have a script.
It actually says Roberto's Dilemma.
Yeah. 10
Mini
minutes, sounds
Cooper
like half
SE
an hour
test
ago.
drive and
I
other
was guessing.
options.
Oh wow. Okay. So you go back
okay.
to the Mini, but electric Mini. Okay.
Yes.
The only
So this at that space. So it's a Mini Cooper SE. It's fully
Yeah.
loaded. It's got panoramic sunroof, leatherette interior. It's got heated seats, heated steering wheel. It's got massage seats on the driver's side. First time in a Mini that I've ever seen. The front seats are electrically adjusted, and the driver's side has got 2 memory positions as well, which is very important when you've got
Yeah.
2 different people driving the car. It's got the 18-inch alloys. It's basically got everything. It's amazing. The spec is brilliant, and
What's its range?
the range is about 250 miles. So in real world,
Perfect
about
for you.
220. So perfect.
Yeah.
And it's a Mini. I've been driving Minis. My first car was an Austin Mini, as you guys know, and I've owned
Yeah.
about 4 Minis since that one. The Mark 1 BMW Mini. I have had a 4-door Cooper S. The John Cooper Works. So this will actually be my 5th Mini if we end up going ahead with it. They are built in China currently because they're not making the electric SE in
Right.
Oxford. So at the moment they've partnered with one of the big Chinese manufacturers to make this car in China. But they will be moving production back to Oxford in the next couple of years. And it's been really, really well reviewed, and because of the discount that my friend has managed to get for us, it would come in at just a little over 30k, so that's about 7.5, 8 grand off. So there we go.
Do they do a Paul Smith edition of this thing?
They do, but those aren't on offer
They're not.
because it is limited edition.
What
But
colour?
yeah, that is
racing green.
it's in the blazing blue with the white roof, so it's very retro looking.
Not a Union flag roof then.
No, I don't really have any choices because we need to go for a stock car.
Sure, yeah, makes
because
sense.
we might actually buy this as a company vehicle,
Right,
since
yeah.
I'll only be using it for business anyway. I'm not going to be using it for personal stuff because we have the other car. But yeah, so Mini Cooper SE. So that is what I'm going to look at on Thursday. If that doesn't work, and the only reason it wouldn't would be because of the seats, then we are going to put this in the bin for now. I'll continue with the M2 and try to make an effort. I mean, I've actually just pulled it off the drive tonight so that I can drive it to the station tomorrow. we are going to wait until May, June when the new ID Polo and Polo GTI come out, because they'll be the first cars on VW's new platform. No, John, not plates. I don't care about plates. I've got private plates because I'm a wanker. It's VW's new platform. If you look up the ID Polo,
it's very good.
They do look nice.
It's well received.
It looks amazing. It really does. So yeah. But I really hope it's the Mini, because that specification and the quality of their interiors and the fact that it's a car that I know so well, that would be the car that would make me not miss the M2 so much.
I think the only thing I would suggest is, because I've sat in one of those. I don't know about the spec, because I'm not sure whether it's an S or SE.
It's the bestest spec in the world.
With the round screen and everything, which is it looks nice. But just think about how it feels and the inside, and then go, yeah, I'm happy with that, or actually no, because the thing is, I know what you mean about the scratchy plastics. But they might just be replaced with scratchy fabrics, and that's just that's not much better.
One of my next door neighbour's got one, and it's practically the same car, except I'll have the SE and they've just got the Cooper, and the inside of their one's really nice, and the inside of my one's going to be like 10 times nicer. So
yeah, then that'll be fine.
So from that point of view, I've got no worries there at all. I think the new ones look amazing on the inside. So yeah, and massage seat. Come on,
massage seats did it for you.
It's the way forward.
You could have got the. You could have got the Jaiku.
Imagine my review of that Mini. It'd be like, oh, the massage seats have just kicked in.
Oh, he's not going to stop about it, is he? We're going to be all we're here for the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. So that's Thursday, and then obviously if that doesn't happen, then I will. My Rotan EV has been delayed, but let's see how we get on.
There are other options. It just depends what you need from it. So keep looking. Don't be discouraged. There will be other stuff out there.
So, when Alex, when you start seriously looking at this, are you going to go test drive some stuff?
Yeah, I'm going to have to. I am.
Okay.
I'm going to have to test drive, because it's.
I think for at least one or two of those, we need to arrange those somewhere where all three of us meet up, and we will all go test drive together. Me and John will sit. Yeah, exactly. And John, definitely, when you're ready and Nissan have sorted this bug bullshit out that you're going through, we're going to have to organise your test drives again somewhere, and on a day where me and Alex can come along as well, and we will try and make these decisions together. I don't think you need to bother with the Mini. I think the one thing we've done here today is
let him have the Mini.
No,
and then you can get something else.
I'm going to look at the
if you are going to look at the Mini, tell me the spec. Oh no, because you're getting it on the Octopus thing, so it doesn't matter if I can get you a deal.
I don't get to choose that spec, but I will do. I don't get to test drive any of the vehicles on EV to work, but I will go to the Kia and the Ford dealerships and sit in those vehicles and look at them. And if I can get them to give me a drive, I will as well.
The only thing I would say is definitely get a quote, because
from Octopus.
The only thing, yes, but not just from Octopus. Get a quote from your dealer, because sometimes a brand new car, even with the salary sacrifice, can be expensive. So just check it out.
I'm looking at that, but I'm also looking at the second-hand ones they have, and in some cases because okay, little boring fact for you, because in March the new plates arrive. Well, no, April, but March is the last month. The EV to work scheme has some end-of-year stock they want to get rid of, and some of the higher spec, longer-range vehicles are cheaper than the lower spec ones that they have on offer.
Yeah, good.
So the EV to work scheme it's a bit of a crapshoot in terms of what you choose. But what I am going to do is go to those dealerships and just get a feel for the vehicles, because the problem is, well, the Qashqai we rented a few of them out on our camping years to avoid going down to Somerset in our Leaf. So we actually left the Leaf at home and hired for a week a Qashqai, and we love the Qashqai. We got to drive it long distance and test it. So that's why I think, apart from Nissan being arseholes, that's why I think we chose a cash car, we actually had a feel for the vehicle. I don't want to get the next car without having driven in it, basically. So,
totally agree. Yeah,
see
no,
you
it
at
sounds
Milton
good.
Keynes for a burning strip, Alex. You and me and Bobby.
Oh yeah, got to do that.
Lots of straight lines
Sounds
there, aren't
fun.
there?
Lots of straight lines and
absolutely.
roundabouts.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, there we go. That's actually, I think that's been quite a good sort of first one back. It's been really useful. Yeah, I think Alex, you kind of feel like you've kind of got a little bit further ahead in your thinking on all of this.
I think so. I think it's nice to be able to talk to you guys in a rational way about electric cars, which is good. So without getting lots of hate and
true.
So that's been good. And you know, they're just cars at the end of the day. So
Speaking of
find one
rationality,
that
Alex,
you like.
isn't it interesting how different the public opinion is about electric vehicles now compared to when we had our leaves? Because the amount of people that used to say to me, "What are you doing driving that? Is that a toy car? Is it a go-kart?" And now look at the world we're in, where everyone's there's status symbols now, electric cars.
It's
really
so funny,
actually.
yeah. People would talk to me. Although I will tell you one thing that gets on my wick about electric cars, and this is something. I mean, maybe we'll talk about
Tyres.
So they sound no, not the tyres. The noise they make when they're going like down the road, it's universally ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like there is no sensible sound because they don't make any sound. So,
No.
but they have to put a sound on, and they've had they've had sounds done by these amazing sound designers. I can't remember.
Yeah, the Renault 5, the sound was designed by Jean-Michel Jarre.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And all it does is it just goes.
Excusez-moi, attention, dépêchez-vous, excusez-moi. Jean-Michel Jarre shouting at your car speakers every time you
It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. And of course, nowadays, all new cars, and it's not just electric cars, but all new cars make a sound going backwards as well. So,
That's right, yeah.
so you've
That's
got
really
to deal with the beeps.
I can't secretly get back late at night in my car without Becca knowing. It's really annoying.
No,
I mean, not that I'm doing anything, but it wakes her up, and she doesn't like that when she gets woken up. So we can't get home quietly without. It's like when the old they turned the old milk floats into electric to stop people from waking up in the mornings. Remember?
yeah, but they didn't have a sound to them. Well, they had a little sound, but
A whine.
no, it's just like my Polestar's like got one of the most wanky sounds. It really it's just when it goes back, it doesn't just beep. It just goes boop, boop, boop,
Ding,
boop, boop.
ding.
And then I'm like, well, what's that about? And then it's got literally a page full of crap about why it's so much better. The backup beep is something.
Here's
That's
something
just
very funny.
ridiculous.
Bobby, I looked at the specs of the Kia EV3, and if you want to add LED projection lights below the doors, that's an extra £404.
Oh my god. That's the one thing I did. I looked at the Hyundai Insta just for fun. I don't like the look of it. It's not me. But I did just look at it to price it up. And the amount of options, and it must be the same on the Kia side of the Hyundai fence as well. Like you can go from like a 25k car to over 30k like that.
It's like shopping at IKEA, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, Mini do that as well because they've got their sort of base trim, then they level 1, level 2, level 3, and you can go from like a 26 grand car to 38 grand like in the blink of an eye. It's nuts. But anyway, there we go.
Buy any add-ons and stuff from AliExpress, and you'll get them for like half the price, if not less. So that kind of thing is totally doable. All right, I think we're wrapping up, aren't we?
We are, yeah. So we will obviously come back to all of this, but we have been one man who's been quietly smug about electric cars for years. One
not that
who's
quiet.
been all right. One who's been absolutely for them and a great advocate, but been shafted by Nissan. And one idiot who loudly declared that EVs were mobile phones on wheels, but is now seriously considering buying one. We'll come back to this in a few months. Hopefully, we will also interject and interrupt with some footage from various test drives and things. I think it'd be a great idea if we're able to work our schedules and get all three of us together on camera. But we'll find out what happened, what we bought, what we didn't, whether I'm sitting here pretending that I don't miss the noise of an engine, or quietly enjoying heated seats and massage functions and never having to visit a petrol station to fill up ever again. And if you're listening to this and you're on the same journey, or you're thinking about making the switch, let us know what you're driving or considering. It's always interesting to hear what people are choosing in the real world, not just on paper, and we love the debates that we get into in the comments section, not just you with us, but you with other viewers of the channel as well. And if you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and check out our channel memberships to support the show. It helps us to keep doing this, and it might even fund our slightly elevated electricity bills in the near future. Thanks for listening. This has been the Tailoring Talk Magazine. Welcome back, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, God, you two, honestly.
We are crap, aren't we, at goodbyes? We don't want to go, Bobby. We don't want to go.
You know, there's no lag on EVs. Instant talk. That's what I want from you two.
Okay.